morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome. It is Friday. Can you believe the week is past? And we're moving into the weekend, into a new week. So I hope you had a great week. I had a pretty good week. I've been freaked out. It's so sad that during this pandemic, if you get a cold, if you sneeze, I have allergies real bad. So every time I get a cold, or well, not really a cold. I think I'm coming down with a cold. I freak out and trying to decide, gosh, is this coronavirus or what? So I can have a sneeze and immediately I'm treating myself. I don't know if that's a good thing to be so medicated or what. So yesterday I was medicated. I couldn't come on live like I wanted to because I had several sneezes and sniffles, but the weather is changing, and whatever I get, I'm going to stay on top of it. Even though I'm practicing all the safety measurements, nothing is 100% guarantee. I don't think a vaccine will be 100% guarantee, but it should help. So, anyway, I'm better today. I'm drinking coffee. This is my second cup. I have some peppermint tea, which is a part of my Preptober care package we're going to talk about next week. So today we're going to focus on writing books of reference. Good morning, Big Boy 3. Glad to have you here. Yeah, you slowly waking up. Well, I woke up an hour early feeling rested and ready for today. So I have some books that I want to share with you all, but one key point I want to make is even though you can read all these books, the main objective is to just write. Yeah, it's to just write. So for those who are writing cozy mystery, this is Nancy Cohen book. I like her book. She is a cozy mystery writer, author. I read a couple of her books, and this one here really breaks it down for those who are writing a cozy mystery. It defines the genre. It talks about creating your sleuth, a web of suspects. It is just filled with a lot of wonderful tips that you can use for your writing process. So, this is one of the books I use for writing my cozy mystery, and I really like it. Now, this is a very popular book. Save the Cat writes a novel. I hadn't read it yet, but a lot of people recommend it for writing your outline or writing your book. I probably will read this after NaNo and then do a series on it and may apply it. But this is highly recommended by a lot of writers and authors. Now, this one is my favorite. Yes, I don't care what no one said. I love how to write a novel using the Snowflake Method. And I love it. I love it. So I recommend you to get this one, even if it's just to read the story. You know, his story parallels the steps in this here method. And it's dealing with, what's her name? Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And I would say it's the future Goldilocks and Three Bears. I would say she's like 32 years old. So they all matured at this point, and it is really good. I recommend the story. It's hilarious. It's great. And then the story that Goldilocks write, because she always wanted to be a writer, breaks each of these 10 steps down where you can truly understand the process. So yeah, I strongly recommend this. If you don't want to outline, get it for the story itself because the story is good. It is so amazing how he intertwined the storyline with the steps. Now, this is a book I had years ago, writing down the bones. It's pretty good. I don't remember reading it, but it's been over 20 years. I went to Half Price Bookstore because I lost all my books during what was that, Hurricane Harvey back in 2017. And this is one of the books by Natalie Goldberg. I strongly recommend. This is something you may want to keep in your book of reference. I like this one. Now everyone knows this one. This is it. I had the little kit back in the days. I couldn't find the kit. Now it came with your certificate. It came with some stickers. It came with some cards and stuff. But no plot, no problem. If you're starting Nano for the first time, or you can just go back and use this as reference for any time you're participating in Nano. I recommend getting this. How to Write Your Novel in 30 Days, a Low Stress. This is good. I like this one. So I recommend having that book. This is my favorite, Bird by Bird. This is where I get my mantra from Anne Lamott. One, one word, one sentence, one paragraph, one page at a time. Bird by Bird is a really good story. She talks about how she couldn't write as a little girl and how she would watch a bird and one word at a time. I love this book, so I strongly recommend getting this book. This is one of my favorite novels to read. I like her. It's a great book of reference. And moving on, this is another one of my favorites, Stephen King. I am a scary cat. I do not like horror movies or anything. And then when I went back and realized, oh my God, I watched a lot of his horror movies growing up. I didn't know he wrote Carrie. What was that? Cujo, Dakar. All those movies back in the days, I watched it and didn't realize it was Stephen King. Now, his book on writing is wonderful. It is wonderful. You can take some of his tips or you can leave them by the wayside, but I recommend reading this book and having it there in your reference collection. I loved his book. I like the fact that he would get out and walk every day, before he writes. If I can do that, that would be wonderful. This is a great book of reference. Now, this one I had to a long time ago. A friend of mine's recommended The Element of Style. It's good. I think it's mainly for the grammatical and how to write the sentence and stuff like that and the rules of usage. So this is another good reference book to have in your collection. Now that's one more that I got to show off, of course. What will it be if I don't show you my book? Echoes and Whispers is in the ebook. I don't know if you can get a good view of it. It's an ebook, and I wrote this, was it last year or the year before, for writers who face writer block. And I was facing it. And so what I decided to do is write a haiku each day as part of my morning writing rituals. And I write a haiku and I use that haiku as a catalyst to stimulate my thoughts, to get past that blank screen, you know. And you can do that too because each haiku you can use as a writing prompt. And each week I have at the beginning of what to expect during the week. Let's see if I can show you some samples of it. Like this is the table of contents. I'm not sure if you can really get a good view with the light or whatever. It's so lighted. But I tell you what a haiku is in my definition. And then I have like week one, the beginning. I said the beginning is the hardest place to write when you're staring at a blank screen. Even though you have interesting ideas and an in-depth outline, the anticipation and excitement of starting a new writing project may cause your mind to wander. Fight for your muse and get your thoughts on paper. This is your story and only you can tell it. Don't allow procrastination to rear its ugly head and give you a reason to stop writing. Dismiss your excuses and commit an hour a day to your story. One method to help jump your daily writing, is to visualize your thoughts as a slow leaking faucet, trickling one word at a time. So just close your eyes and think about your story and let it play inside your mind. And then while you visualize it, just write. And then each day I have a haiku. Like for day one, it will start you saying anticipation, chaos, silence by whispers, scattered thoughts captured. So it goes on and on and on for each week. So I highly recommend this book just to get you in the groove, in the flow of writing and starting your process for the day. So anyway, we're gonna write. I realize, geez, I don't write when I'm not streaming. So I'm still working on my schedule and trying to figure out what works best for us. But I will not be here tomorrow morning because I have my writing boot camps on Saturday, early mornings. But I'm thinking about bringing a guest on tomorrow evening about 6 o'clock Central Time, and we do a wrap up of our week and talk about what our October prep will bring for us, and wrap up for today. And the other 2 days, we'll bring it out to you on Saturday. So if you'd like to join me Saturday, be here. I will have a schedule up there, and yeah, join us. Anyway, today we're going to get to writing. You can either work on what you've been working on, you can go back to the Snowflake Method and finish up some of your steps. That's what I'm going to do. You can think about, well, we worked on brainstorming this week. If you need to continue to brainstorm on some ideas of what you want to write, or if you're participating in NaNo, you can do that. We talked about, are you handwriting? Are you typing your novel out? For me, when I'm writing something real short, like a children's story or maybe a poetry or something, handwriting works best for me. That is something I recently discovered. But if it's a long story or a novel, I have to type. Now, when I was doing the Snowflake Method, handwriting was really good for me too because I felt really close and intimate with each process of the Snowflake Method. So that helped a lot. And today we talked about writing books of reference. So the ones I'm really going to focus on was only two, which is the Snowflake Method for me. I go back and forth with this one. I should know it by heart. I do. And writing the cozy mystery, making sure I have all the elements that's necessary to be in my cozy mystery. So those are my two go-to books for now. So anyway, I'm going to play some music in the background. If it bothers you, just turn your volume down. We're going to spend at least 3 sessions of writing. Should take us through 6 o'clock or 6:15. I'll be watching the chat and going back and forth. So until I come back, let's get the writing. Okay, that was our first writing session. So I'm still working on my character profile from the Snowflake Method, and I'm working with Chester Mayweather. And I don't have my original manuscript from the third draft is in a program that is not on my computer. So I forgot his name. He is probably a red herring too. So I just thought of his name a while ago and gonna stick with this one, Chester Mayweather. And he's the love interest for Aunt Ivy and Ida Mae Brown. So Ida Mae Brown is another elder within my story. She probably a red herring or a murderer. Who knows who's who right now at this moment? I know, but I don't want to tell you. So I'm working on his character profile. And one thing that fits with him in the story that may connect him to Getty's murder is he suffered from severe insomnia. So, and he has a sleep phobia. Can you imagine a sleep phobia? Yeah, he's afraid to go to sleep, and there's a reason why he's afraid to go to sleep, in which I don't want to tell too much about that. So, I'm working on him and his characteristics and traits and uh, his his role in the story, which is intriguing because some of the stuff is new, even though I wrote him in the story, but all this tidbits of information is making my story plot and the reasons why even stronger. So I'm really excited about that. I'm glad I got Ida Mae Brown out the way. She's a character. Her and Aunt Ivy. I'm so disappointed with Aunt Ivy. Initially, when I started writing my story, I had in my mind of who she was, and oh my gosh, she is just the opposite. So you really don't know a person at all unless they let you see that side of who they are. So I'm on that part now, still working on that. And this character Bible is really helping. Even if you don't do any of the steps in the Snowflake Method, you got to do the character Bible, because if you don't know your character, how will they push your story forward? So we're going to move on to the next session, writing section. That should last about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so we finish up with that round. We're moving into our third and final writing session today. Still working on my character, Chester Mayweather. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna stick with that name, but right now that's his name because I found another name like Ronald Benedict or something like that. Nah, but I do like that name, so I might just add it to my list of names for future reference for other books. So let's continue with our final round of writing.
Hello.
Okay, that completes our writing session today. I was so productive. That was so good. I think I may come back every day next week just to be as productive as I was this morning because this is has been good. I mean, my story has taken another twist as I develop something new or discover something new about my characters. Wow, I'm still in shock. So that's the best part of writing and rewriting is discovering something more about your story to make it stronger, to push the plots even farther, to keep the interest of the readers there. I'm so excited. So I'm going to continue to write, but I'm going to end our writing session for this morning. I will be back tomorrow, so keep an eye on my station later on today for the time that I will be back. Most likely it'll be tomorrow evening by 6 o'clock Central Time because I am really feeling this story. So, anyway, I want you all to have a wonderful day. Enjoy your weekend. Yes, stay safe, practice good social distancing, wear your mask when needed, protect yourself and your family. Until then, happy writing.